Good evening and welcome to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We hit 8,000 subscribers yesterday. Unbelievable. Massive thanks to anyone who is subscribed. If you can drop a like on the video as well, that does massively help. Loads of you in already today. Ross Lawman, Max Evans, Sportcat, VV Vlad, Saka number 7, Tentago, Emilio, Andreas, SS9, Hannah, Ethan Udall, Verdi, good to see you. Drakkar as well. Buzzing to have hit 8K. On to the next one. On to 10K. Someone said that. Who was it? It was VV Vlad. We are on to 10K. That is the next target. Well, no, look, 9K is the next target, but 10K would be nice. I hope you're all doing well. We've got the Mikel Arteta press conference today, so we'll go through that. Not a crazy amount of news to go through from that. Obviously, Europa League games are currently going on. Little score check. It's currently 2-0 to Roma against Brighton. So Brighton are on the ropes. They're 2-0 down away in Rome. Karabag are 1-0 up against Bayer Leverkusen as well, which is interesting. Could that be Bayer Leverkusen's first defeat of the entire season? And Liverpool are cruising 2-0 away at Sparta Prague. If you've not seen it, the Darwin Nunez goal is sensational. Kelleher has been on form in that game as well from what I was watching whilst I was setting up the stream. Did you see no Saka, Martinelli, Tomiyasu and Zinchenko in training today? Yeah, I did. We'll speak about that, especially Saka and Martinelli, and whether or not they'll play on Saturday. How are Leverkusen losing? I don't know, to be honest with you. They conceded in the 26th minute. I mean, to be honest, on the stats, they're struggling a little bit. They've only had 2 shots in the entire game. So interesting one there. Only see Rambo leaving this summer if we get a monster bid like 50 million at least, or we have a player in kind to come in similar mold of Raya. I just can't see him staying for another season. I just can't see him losing another season of his career sat on the bench, to be honest. Yo, Rory, how do you rate Ramsdale's impact on Arsenal from 1 to 10? I mean, he's had a significant impact. Ramsdale had a significant impact. When he came into the team, Karabag are 2-0 up against Bayer Leverkusen. Wow. They've scored right on the brink of half-time, Juninho, to make it 2-0. That is interesting. You know, I want Leverkusen to go through. I really want a Leverkusen-Liverpool final. I think that would be a brilliant final, but a little hurdle for them to overcome there. But no, look, Ramsdale's impact on the team, massive. When he came in, you know, he was a massive lift. He was a breath of fresh air. We'd had a bad start, and he came in and he changed the way we played out from the back. And he proved a lot of people wrong. He justified his price tag. And, you know, a lot of the fan base fell in love with him. And, you know, I had it thrown at me on TikTok. You know, I made a video about him on TikTok earlier, and someone in the comments said, oh, you only love him because he's English. And I think, well, first of all, that's not true. I think there are lots of reasons that many Arsenal fans love Ramsdale. Many of them aren't English, and many of them are. But, you know, the way that he played is why people love Ramsdale. And also, what's the issue with that? Like, English people, I feel like they're the only people that aren't allowed to like English players without it being thrown at them, in the same way that no one would criticize an Egyptian for loving Mo Salah or a South Korean for loving Heung-min Son. It happens across the board, but for some reason, when English people love an English player, it seems to be a massive problem. And Liverpool are 3-0 up. Another Darwin Nunez. Look, he's on form. He could be a big factor in that game on Sunday. He really could. Max, good to see you. I'd hate seeing Ramsdale go to Chelsea. Yeah, there are some clubs I don't want to see him go to. I don't want to see him go to Chelsea. Don't really want to see him go to Newcastle. There were some links to AC Milan, and if we can sell him abroad, that would be ideal. Not having to see him thrive at another Premier League club would be ideal. But we'll see. Rambo still has at least 10 years left of his career, even if he stays till 2025, with money for Ryan, midfielder, winger, and striker, etc. Don't want another turn-type keeper. But what would be the benefit of Ramsdale staying for another year, though? Like, he's obvious. If we sign Raya to a new deal, if we sign Raya permanently, which we will do, like, Raya's obviously our number one, so I don't know why he'd spend another season at the club. Xhaka is on the bench for Leverkusen. Well, that's why they're losing. That's why they're Why have they benched Granit Xhaka? I have no sympathy. No, to be fair, they're probably focusing. Well, yeah, they are probably focusing on the league, to be fair. But I really feel like the league, they're 10 points clear in the league. What's their teams? They've got Tella, Kosunu, Tapsoba, Grimaldo, Ondric, Palacios, Adley, Iglesia, and Klosek. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best team that they've put out. It's not awful. Who's on the bench? So, yeah, they've got Wirtz on the bench, Xhaka on the bench, Frimpong on the bench, Schick on the bench, and Cappy on. They've benched. Okay, they've benched a lot of good players. Maybe they'll regret doing that. Imagine Leverkusen losing to Karabag after going unbeaten all season. Shows how crazy football is. Yeah, I mean, they've not helped themselves with the team selection, but it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one because I really feel like 10 points clear, they could have afforded to go quite strong and win the Europa League as well. Is it weird that I like transfer news and youth development more than watching games? It's not weird. It's each to their own. I mean, I enjoy transfer news and youth development. I still prefer games. But that's like some people play FIFA Ultimate Team without ever actually playing a game of FIFA. All they do is trade on the transfer market. It's each to their own. Each to their own. Seems like Bayer underestimated Karabag. Yeah, probably. With Ramsdale leaving, it's looking peak for Smith Rowe and Nketiah and others if they don't start to challenge. Yeah, true. Well, I think Nketiah is going to go this summer, to be honest. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. I think by the end of this season, Nketiah might not even be making it into matchday squads. So I think he'll be going. Imagine we signed Wirtz. I would love that. I would love that. Anyway, we'll get into the news from Mr. Arteta from his press conference today. He was asked on the team news. He said, "There's not much. We got some players back last Monday, and then we had Martinelli and Bukayo with little issues, but we're pretty positive that hopefully they can be a part of the Brentford game. We'll have to wait and see how they are tomorrow." So, look, both the good news is nothing serious for Martinelli, nothing serious for Bukayo Saka. He was asked about Ramsdale's game time this season. He said, "It is what it is. He's fully prepared. He trains really well every day. He's desperate to play like the rest of the boys who haven't had that many opportunities. And Saturday is a great day for him." He was asked about Ramsdale's attitude. He said he's been brilliant. He's been really good, really supportive, really pushing everything in training, like I expected. And it is a joy to have two top goalkeepers in the team. He was asked why Dubai has been so successful. He said it was necessary. We had a really tough period before that. We had so many games. And we had some defeats, especially not deserving to lose matches. But I think the trip was something that was probably necessary to keep moving, keep demanding from ourselves and the weather, the temperature, some of the things we had time to work on to improve as a team as well. And everything clicked. We won and we're playing good. And that helps. He was asked, it's just a load of nonsense about facing Brentford again. He was asked about not thinking about Liverpool, Man City. He said, "This is the only thing we can control, perform well, play better than them, and earn the right to win the game." That is his favourite phrase. Earn the right to win the game is Mikel Arteta's favourite phrase. Absolutely loves it. But he said he will certainly be watching the other game. Is there anything else? Any news on new contracts for our players? He said not really, and I leave that more to Edu and the club to announce those things when the time is right. Obviously, we heard yesterday about Tomiyasu, about Ben White, but he doesn't want to talk about it, which is fair enough. He was asked if he has a preference for who wins privately. Privately and publicly, I have the same answer. It's nothing to do with me. Let me know in the chat. Who do you want to win? Let me know in the chat. Who Liverpool City or draw? What do you want? In fact, we'll set up a poll. We'll set up a poll. This is good. We'll set up a poll. What result do we want to see on Sunday? By the way, I'm going to do a stream on Sunday, but it's not going to be for... I'm going to do a watch-along of Villa against Spurs on Sunday on Tifa. Just putting that out there now. Liverpool versus City. Liverpool win. Draw. City win. And that's what you want to happen, not what you think is going to happen. Magnus, good to see you. No matter what happens in that game, if Arsenal win, we secured second for the time being. That is true. That is true. If it's a draw and we win, we go top. If either of them wins and we win, we go second. Draw, both teams drop points. I'll let the poll run. But the poll is what you want, not what you think is going to happen necessarily. What else was he asked? Just a load of waffle. He was asked if he's secretly hoping that Liverpool and Man City draw. He said it's nothing to do with me. I will sit down with my kids and enjoy the match. I don't know if he was asked anything else particularly useful, to be honest. He was asked about Ramsdale again. He said one of the toughest things to deal with is for players who don't have the amount of time that they deserve. Not only with Aaron, but with many of those. But we have an unbelievable group of players. We try to be straight and explain things and be close to them and give them the support that we want. And then when they have the opportunity, at the end, they want to contribute to the team the best way possible. Like, the reality is, it's very difficult with a goalkeeper to give them any game time. Like, if we'd signed Raya permanently instead of on loan, Ramsdale wouldn't have played this game. He wouldn't have played the other Brentford game. He really wouldn't have played much at all this season. He said he was asked if he's pulled them aside to discuss the minutes that they get. He said, you cannot really promise anything. You never know what's going to happen in 3 weeks time or 7 days. I think we have to show them the compassion that they need. And then he was asked this one, and I think this is the big one for me, and this is why I think Ramsdale's going, right? He was asked, he was asked if Aaron Ramsdale can adapt to being what he wants from a goalkeeper. He said, not only can he adapt, he has proven that he can perform really well to do what we want and when we want, right? Questionable. He was asked if he has a chance of keeping his place. He said, we don't have that kind of conversation with players, not with Aaron or any of the players. You feel you play today and you have a chance to play next week. That doesn't happen. So basically, no. There is not a chance that if Ramsdale performs well against Brentford, he's going to be in the team against Porto. And so that's why I just think, it's not going to be tenable to have 2 good keepers, or 2 keepers of that level, because I could not hold it against Ramsdale if he left. I could not. Leo, good to see you. Ramsdale has been a soldier, but I think his time is up. Yeah, look, I think it's only fair for him to move on. I think Ramsdale Raya is really what Arteta wants. I think he's massively grown at Arsenal, and I just think it's what it is, And we went a long time, really. We went a long time where the only time that we lost players or we sold players and it was painful was when it was our best players and they were leaving because we weren't good enough. We're not in that position anymore. And more recently, we've been so bad more recently that we didn't even have our best players. Other top teams didn't want to come and get. And now we're finally at the point where actually we will have players that have contributed well to the club, but that still aren't good enough for us long term. And whether that's Ramsdale or Eddie or Smith Rowe or whoever else, that's just something that we're going to have to start dealing with. And that's the reality of it, right? City fans couldn't have been too attached to Cole Palmer because, City sell players like that. It just is what it is. Have we been linked to a backup keeper yet? No, not at all. Not at all. I don't really even know who we'd bring in. I don't know if we'd go for a much more senior keeper that's been there and done it and has the experience, or if we'd go for a genuinely good up and coming goalkeeper. But obviously we've got Hein, we've got Okonkwo, but I don't think either of them are ready to step up just yet. Have you seen Nunez's goals? I saw the first goal. Is his second goal good as well? Let me have a look for his second goal. His first goal was wonderful. Top bins from a long way out. I don't know what his second goal was like. Let me try and find it. We were linked to the young Besiktas keeper. I don't think I even saw that. What's his name? What's the young Besiktas goalkeeper's name? Oh, yeah. Darwin's second goal is pretty good as well. Just absolutely smashed it. Would you approve? I'll be honest, John. John, you're using that whatever font that is. I don't know how you're doing it, but it's actually quite difficult to read. Would you approve Lunin as a second choice goalkeeper? Possibly, but I don't know why he'd leave. He's the second choice keeper at Real Madrid now, so I don't think he'd leave. I think he's above Kepa in the rankings at Real Madrid now. Keeper was poor for the first goal. Yeah, well, it was a good strike. Kelleher's been good for them today, though. Nunez has been more important to Liverpool than Salah. You could argue it. You could argue it. How much do you think we should spend on a backup goalkeeper? It's one of those things you don't really want 20 million max. Really, you don't want to spend a crazy amount. Like realistically, you never want to have to use your backup goalkeeper. So I'd take Ross Barkley from Luton. Thoughts? 20 to 25 million. I don't know if he'd be. I think he thrives at Luton. I don't know if him coming back to a big club. I don't know if he'll stay at that level again. No, it's fine, John. No problem. How much do you think? Sorry, I've already read that one. I hope we sign Xavi Simons or Nico Williams. Yeah, who watched the Champions League last night? Xavi Simons looked good. Sesko, not for me. Not for me, I don't think. I was watching Sesko. You know, he's still very raw. Don't get me wrong. In a couple of years, he might be at the level, but for me, not right now. And that Openda was awful. I think I'd finish better than Openda. He's got pace, but he's like one of those bronze cards that you get on FIFA where they've got like 95 pace, but nothing else. Hurts more when it's an academy graduate or a passionate player. For sure. What's the update on Saka and Martinelli? Both of them are... Arteta hopes that both of them will be in the squad on Saturday. So it's nothing serious for either of them. And he hopes they'll both be in the squad. But they haven't trained today. So... Leipzig were dreadful at finishing. They should have comfortably won. Also, Madrid always do this, but somehow their pedigree gets them through. It's true. Over the two legs, RB Leipzig were the better team. And I was watching Real Madrid last night thinking, we can beat these. Like, I don't think they're that well drilled. I don't think the structure and balance of the team is brilliant. I was like, and they really struggled under that press as well. Danny Carvajal gave the ball away about 10 times. I was looking at it thinking, we should beat them over two legs. But then you just know that they're Madrid in the Champions League. It's just they just seem to always find a way, you know. Vinny should have been sent off as well. Yeah, I mean, look, the hands on the throat technically is a red card. We've seen it, you know, numerous times. Rodri, Casemiro, plenty of players have been sent off for doing that. And then not long after he only got a booking for that, he dived, and the referee gave it as a dive but didn't book him for it. So Vinicius was lucky to stay on the pitch. Madrid aren't that scary, Carter said, and then he said, "I'm going to regret saying that." Yeah, I mean, this is why you've got to bite your tongue. You don't want to be, you know, you don't want to be clipped up saying that Real Madrid would be easy, and then we draw them in the next round and lose heavily. But Leverkusen's losing 2-0. Yeah, Leverkusen are 2-0 down there. Be interesting to see if they can claw that one back. I mean, it would be literally the most unheard of thing ever if they could somehow go the whole season without losing a game in any competition. It would almost take away from the Invincibles. So hopefully they don't do that. Random question: Dybala, Griezmann, or João Felix at their prime? Griezmann. Both now and in their prime, Griezmann, for me, is quite comfortably the best out of those three. Did you see? Yeah, Nunez's broken finger was pretty grim. It's actually, it wasn't actually broken. It's just a really bad dislocation. Because it happened on his nut. It happened on that part of his knuckle and just completely dislocated. But yeah, not particularly nice. Not particularly nice. It's one of those things as well. Like you just look down at your hand and your finger's pointing that way, you'd freak out. Let's beat Porto first. Yeah, we've got to beat Porto first. Exactly. 100% record against Real Madrid, first English club to beat them. Just saying. There you go. The history is on our side. History is on our side. What was Nunez's injury last night? Like I said, so his middle finger from this knuckle was pointing like that. So where the rest of my middle finger goes, it was pointing upwards like that. Not good stuff. Not good stuff. Why is João Felix getting compared to them? There was a time where João Felix was on course to be on course to be better, you know. Would you take Kepa? No. Not in a million years. Not in a million years. If we sell Nketiah, Ramsdale, and Nelson, are we still good on quota? Yes. Yes. Our quota. So David Raya counts. Martinelli counts. And then obviously you got Saka. Did you say if you sell Smith Rowe? No. So you got Saka, Smith Rowe. I think William Saliba might even count, you know. Need to double check that one. You got Ben White. So I think we'd be fine. I'm trying to think who else. You need 7. You need so you need 7 homegrown players in a squad. Yeah, Saliba counts. So homegrown. So you need 7 homegrown players, and to be homegrown, I can't remember word for word what it is, but it basically they either need to have been born in England in Britain, or they need to have played. I think they need to have played 2 seasons by the time they're 21 or something like that in England. I can't remember exactly what it is, but Martinelli's definitely homegrown. Raya's homegrown. Saliba's homegrown. Is it 8 players? Is it? It might be 8 instead of 7. Yeah, Saka, White, Smith Rowe, Declan Rice, Trossard. No, I don't think Trossard would be. Am I missing one? Who else would there be? How's Raya homegrown? He was at. He's been here for years. I've been very busy with school, but always make it back in time to watch. Appreciated. Liverpool have conceded. It's now 3-1. A Bradley own goal. Yeah, so homegrown. They don't. Let's Google it. Let's Google it. What does homegrown mean? Premier League. The homegrown rule. The homegrown rule is an initiative, blah, 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 foreign or homegrown. To be classified as homegrown, one must be on an English team for at least 3 years before the age of 21. That would mean that a teenager would have to start at the club by the age of 18. Blah, 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 blah. Each club is able to list up to 17 senior players that are not homegrown. So you can have 17 players that are not homegrown, which basically means if you have a 25-man squad, you need at least 8 that are homegrown. So that's how it works. So Saliba had 3 years at Arsenal before he turned 21. Martinelli the same. Obviously, Saka, White, Rice are all English. Yeah, so Daily AFC content. This was on the assumption that we sell Ramsdale and Nketiah and Reece Nelson. So if we lose those 3, are we still good? Oh my days, I just realised I had the stream at halfway. George Christodoulou's had a stinker. Oh dear. I personally think we should get Xavi Simons after that performance. Yeah, but I don't know if PSG would let him go at this point. I don't know if PSG would let him go after that one. Have I missed? No, we haven't had Guest Laguna yet. Raya been here for a few months. Yeah, but he's been in England. It's not about, he doesn't have to have been at our club to count as homegrown. He needs to have been at an English club for 3 years before they turn 21. So it's all good. And then I'd assume on the bench next year, we'll probably have like, I don't know, Miles Lewis-Skelly, maybe even Nifun Nwaneri. Jesus would have been close to homegrown as well. Not sure how old he was when he joined City. I think he was a bit too old by the time he joined City. Konate going off injured. Konate going off injured would be a big loss. Yeah, Patino would count as homegrown. Don't know if Sambi would count as homegrown. But yeah. So ultimately, we'd be the third choice keeper. Your third choice keeper would be homegrown, whether it's Hein or Okonkwo or whoever. So yeah, look, we'd be fine. We'd be absolutely fine for the homegrown quota. No problem. Is that injury to Konate bad? What are they saying about Konate? Because this is big. Rumors that Gomez is injured and now Konate too, it seems. Gomez off. So apparently there's rumours that Gomez went off because he's injured. Bradley came on, scored an own goal, and now Konate's gone off injured. That's brutal. That's brutal for Liverpool. To lose Gomez and Konate. Like, if you just assumed that those two aren't available for Sunday, then they'd be in trouble. You'd be looking at Bradley, Van Dijk, Kwanzaa, and Robertson, and no backup, basically. Did you see Ethan getting more? Do you see Ethan getting more minutes next season? Yeah. But again, it won't be crazy. Like, Nwaneri won't get many more minutes next season than our runs in the Carabao Cup and FA Cup allow it. I don't think we'll see him in the league much, if at all, and I don't think we won't see him in the Champions League. So I think we'll only see him in the league and the FA Cup, and that's another reason that actually, outside of winning the competitions, getting a few FA Cup and League Cup games in a season is good, just to rotate the squad, just to give players game time. Like, we've not really had the opportunity to do that in the last couple of seasons. Francisco Oliveira, good to see you. Do you believe Declan Rice becoming Arsenal? Yeah, I could see Rice becoming the Arsenal captain in the future. It all depends on how much. Really, it depends on how long I could never see Ødegaard losing the captaincy, right? I could never see Ødegaard losing it. So it would rely on Ødegaard not being at the club and Declan Rice staying at the club. If I had 300 quid right now, I would donate 50 memberships. Well, I mean, that would be incredibly generous of you, John. That would be incredibly generous. Could you see Timber being in the squad for the Porto game? Maybe. I could see him being in the squad. I don't think maybe he gets a few minutes. I don't know. Off topic, but are you allowed to bring a power bank into the Emirates? I don't know. I've never tried, to be honest. I mean, to be honest, when they do the pat search around me, I mean, it's not the most thorough thing, to be quite honest. 4-1 Liverpool. There you go. Liverpool, look, they might have injury issues, but they're cruising through to the next round of the Europa League. Who scored the goal? Luis Diaz. Good for them. Will Rice be England captain before Arsenal captain? That wouldn't surprise me. Kane will retire. Unless it went to someone young. No, I think it probably would, right? It would go to like Rice or maybe Stones. You can take one in. I was allowed a power bank. There you go. The question's been answered by Ross Lawman. You can take in a power bank. Score prediction for Liverpool City. 2-1 City. I think City are going to win it. I do think City are going to win it. And then it's all going to be on us. We've got to go to the Etihad. It's all on us. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Guna, the game where I give you an ex or current Arsenal player. I give you 5 clues about them, and you have to guess who that player is. First person to get it correct in the chat gets the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. So get your fingers on your keyboards. If you're like George Christodoulou and you're halfway through the stream, this is, you've got problems, because you're going to see everyone putting in their guesses and thinking, what's going on? He's still running through Arteta's comments. It's not Henry and it is not Flamini. I'll tell you that for free. All right. Clue number 1. They made their senior debut for Blackburn Rovers. Clue number 2. They've made 3 appearances for Spain. Clue number 3. They've never scored a goal for Arsenal. Clue number 4. They made more appearances in the Championship than any other team. This has become quite pointless. And clue number 5. They are currently on loan. As soon as the conversation around homegrown players and David Raya went down the route of, how's David Raya homegrown? Oh, well, because he started his career at Blackburn. I was going, that's clue number 1. So when I come with clue number 1, anyone who's... Oh, dear. But look, the game's the game. And George Christodoulou, he won it. George Christodoulou won it. VV Vlad came second. Louis C came third. SS9 came fourth. And Ross Lawman came fifth. Like, what are the odds that the conversation... not once in one of these live streams have we mentioned the fact that David Raya started his career at Blackburn. And yet somehow the one day where the clues that I had written out were for David Raya, I knew it was right 10 minutes ago because you stopped yourself saying Blackburn. I stopped myself saying he came through he started at Blackburn. It's fine. It's fine. What can you do? Look, shout out to those people that were switched on during that part of the conversation. You know? I didn't even listen to the earlier stream. Well, there you go. That's even more impressive. But that's the way it goes. That is the way it goes. The word Blackburn came out and it was obvious from there. Yeah. That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds? Absolutely ridiculous. I think that would have been a fine one. Some people might have got it right, but I think that one would have been fine if 10 minutes ago we weren't talking about where Raya started his career and why he is homegrown. Raya is not an Arsenal player. I mean, he is quite literally an Arsenal player right here, right now. He doesn't belong to us, but he is an Arsenal player. Wirtz and Xhaka have been subbed on, bringing on the big boys. Bringing on the big boys. Anyway, it's time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I will give you the full career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. And you have to guess who that player is. Yeah, Leverkusen are 2-0 down. In Azerbaijan. You could have just changed clue 1 quick, because without that, I think it would have been more difficult. I could have done, but I don't have the intellectual capacity to think of that sort of thing on the spot. No, I should have done, to be honest. I don't know what clue 1 would have been. To be honest, there weren't many clues for him because he's barely played for Arsenal. He's barely won anything in his career either. Anyway, guess the Non-Gooner. This player started their career at Northampton. They started their career at Northampton. They moved to Newcastle, where they went on loan to Barnsley, on loan to Barnsley again, on loan to Shrewsbury, on loan to Scunthorpe United, on loan to Wigan Athletic, on loan to Scunthorpe United again. They then moved to Peterborough, and they moved to Brentford. And again, I might have gone too easy on this one as well, because people got that one rapido. It was indeed Ivan Toney, and it was VV Vlad that got it first. To be fair, one thing I have noticed is that when VV Vlad gets it first, there's normally a lot of people that reply very quickly after with the same answer that VV Vlad put in. I have noticed that. So, congratulations to VV Vlad. TJR came second. Ethan Udall came third. Sam Shapiro came fourth. And Saka number 7 came fifth. Congratulations. He's been all over the place. Yeah, he has. He has. He's he was just on loan. I mean, he was basically permanently on loan for it was actually only 3 years, to be fair. He was going to a new club every 6 months at one point. Damn the lag. Who would have bet? Toney being at that many teams. Who would have bet? Who would have bet? I wouldn't have put money on it. Who do you think will win the UCL? Well, I think Man City are the massive favourites, to be honest. Realistically, Bayern Munich, they went through, but they don't look great. Real Madrid don't look great. The only other team, Inter and Arsenal. I think Man City are the massive favourites. Thought I had third, but the delay has done me in. It's painful. It's painful. Half an hour to go for Leverkusen to find an answer. You should do an entire live stream dedicated to Guess the Gooner. The problem is, because people say this a lot, you should do 2 a stream or
stuff like that. The problem is, the more I do it, like the quicker we run through all of the players that we can actually use. That's the issue. Like the old way that we did Gas Laguna with the career paths, like we basically ran through like the majority of the players in the space of a few months. It's any flags today? Probably not. Probably not. Are you doing a watch along for the Liverpool City game? No, I'm going to do a watch along for the Villa Spurs game. We're going to hate watch Spurs on Tifo, and then we're going to hate watch Spurs, and then I'm just going to watch the Liverpool City game. How are Leverkusen getting beat? I mean, they've looked better second half by the looks. Second half, they've had a bit more, but overall, they're still struggling. They've still only had one shot on target all game. They're struggling. Footy tic-tac-toe is a great game. We can do... All right, let's do it. Let's do a tic-tac-toe. Let's do a football tic-tac-toe. Football tic-tac-toe. Wow, we can play online against an opponent. We can play online against an opponent. It's going to be all of us against an opponent. Should we try this? I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what steals are. We've got 40 seconds, so you've got to be quick as well. Right, we'll go without steals in the Premier League. I have no idea what's going on, but we're doing this. Okay. It's my opponent's turn. Or is it my turn? It's my turn. What should we go for? Belgian, Leicester, RoryTalksFootball. No, what should we start in the middle? Is that the best way? Chelsea World Cup winner. Chelsea, start in the middle, surely. Chelsea World Cup winner. Chelsea World Cup winner. Enzo Fernandez. Brilliant. Brilliant. Well done, chat. Well done, chat. Now it's my opponent's turn. Oh, this is great. So we're going to go Yuri Tielemans, Lukaku. Right, where shall I go? What's the best place to go? Bottom left? Leicester and the Euros. Not sure. We could go Sambi Lukonga. Let's go Sambi Lukonga. There we go. There we go. Wind it up. Oh, yeah, I could have gone Trossard as well. Could have gone Trossard. Oh, this is intense. This is intense. Did they time out? How did they not know the name? Well, we've won. We just need a Leicester Euros player. No, it's a player that's won the Euros, right? Yeah, it's a player that's won. So I can't do Kante. I can't do Vardy. Ricardo Pereira. Oh, we lost. Ricardo Pereira didn't win the Euros. I thought he did. I thought Ricardo Pereira... Kante's not won the Euros. I'm not going mental. The last set of Euro winners were like Italy, Portugal, and then Spain. Dabizaz. Oh, look at VV Vlad. VV Vlad. VV Vlad. This is unfair. Oh, we go again now. We go again now. They're starting. Isn't it Danilo Pereira? No, but Danilo Pereira hasn't played for Leicester, has he? Oh, he's got Michael Owen there. Right, where do we go here? What's he probably not going to know? What's he not going to know? Let's just go Everton, Villa, Ashley Young. Bottom left, Zaniolo. Yeah, Zaniolo bottom left. Nil more pay up there. Oh, we need Italy, Liverpool. We need Italy, Liverpool. Balotelli. Great shout. There we go. We blocked that one off. Villa, Italy, Gallini. Nice. Oh, we got Zaniolo for that. We need Brentford, Italy. Potentially. Potentially need Brentford, Italy. Oh, no, we got to come down here. So we'll go Zaniolo. Cover that one off. So the next one might be Man United, Villa, if he lets us have it. Yeah, Christian Eriksen's a good one for United, Brentford. Villa, Man United. I mean, we could have gone Ashley Young again, but we can't do that. Pinamonte, top left. He's gone Eriksen, so we've got to go top left. We've got to cover him off. Oh, no, he's won. Oh, no, wait, we've won. He fumbled it. I'm a fool. Villa and Man United. Can I use Young again, or are you not allowed to use the same person twice? Peter Schmeichel. We've won it. You can. Oh, it's his turn again. Right, let's just go for it. Right. Arsenal, Spurs, Sol Campbell. We'll take out the middle. Should we take out the middle? Let's go Trossard. Nice. And then, right, we got Sol Campbell. We've got Samir Nasri, or any one of the lot that all went to Man City. Then you got Fulham, Spurs. Saha, Sessegnon. Yeah, there's quite a few Fulham Spurs, actually. Fulham, Brighton. And then Fulham City. Right, we've got to go Portuguese Brighton. I cannot think of a Portuguese Brighton player. Can anyone think of a Portuguese Brighton player? Otherwise, we're in trouble. Isn't Pedro's Brazilian, no? Is Pedro not Brazilian? Unless it's a different Pedro. João Pedro is Brazil, no? Oh, we lost our turn. I was too slow. Ross, I'm certain he's Brazilian, Ross. Carlos Teixeira. Well, look, he's either going to know Carlos Teixeira or he's not. I ran out of time, which was stupid. It's fine. We need to let this person back into it. We've been battering them. I timed out, but we've been battering them. Ooh. Right, here we go. Let's just go. Wait, what's going to be easiest for me to win here? Oh, we can go for that Teixeira guy, right? This guy, João Carlos Teixeira. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we can go Berbatov top. No, but we need a Fulham Brighton player next. Fulham Brighton. Coefficient in the mud. Roma getting pummeled. Bayer Leverkusen have got one back. Florian Wirtz. Bloody hell, Brighton are 4-0 down. Shane Duffy. Brighton are 4-0 down. Well, we've won again. We've won again. Guess the footballer. What the hell is this now? Oh, we're on a different thing. We'll come back to that another day. That was fun anyway. That was fun. Solomon. Yeah, Solomon would have worked. Jesus, Arsenal bottom. Dybala, Lukaku, Mancini, and Cristante have all scored for Roma. Brighton are... I'll tell you what, Roberto De Zerbi is on the shortlists, supposedly, for United, Chelsea. I don't know. Don't get me wrong, the Brighton squad isn't brilliant, but he's getting, going around getting beaten heavily by average Premier League teams and now by Roma. You know? How would you line up on Saturday if Saka and Martinelli aren't available? I would go Jesus off the left. No. I'd go Jesus off the right and Trossard off the left. Kai Havertz through the middle. That's what I would do. Lewis West is crying for Ramsdale. Are you going live every day? Yeah, live every day at 6:30, unless there's football. Unless there's like an Arsenal game or whatever. So like Saturday night, I'll be at the Arsenal game, so we won't be live Saturday night. But yeah, other than that, we're live every day, 6:30. How would you line up if everyone's available? To be honest, I'd happily go with the same team that played against Sheffield United again. I'd happily go with that same lineup. No problem. No problem at all. Leverkusen have got 15 minutes to get another goal back to keep their unbeaten streak going. De Zerbi is a bit of a gimmick, loses the same way a lot. Yeah, he doesn't seem to learn. De Zerbi doesn't seem to learn, doesn't seem to have another way of playing. He's not adaptable. If he goes in at, let's say he goes in at United and they're on a losing run to start with, even Ten Hag was able to basically throw out all of his own philosophy to make sure that stopped. I don't think De Zerbi would. I really don't. Are you going to the Brentford game? Yeah. I will be at the Brentford game and I'll be at the Porto game. I'm buzzing for it. Anyway, that is going to be the end of the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. There wasn't a huge amount to talk about today, which is why we ended up playing football tic-tac-toe. But it is what it is. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for 8,000 subscribers. Please do subscribe if you're not already. Smash a like on the video before you jump off. And I will catch you all at 6:30 tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening. And goodbye.